Okay, ma'am. You can start the class, ma'am.
Good evening, everybody. Today we are going to start pointers and arrays. Okay, so we'll be combining these two topics together and discuss because they are not two different topics. Fine? Yeah, first we'll start with pointers because arrays is nothing but a point. Pointers. Yeah, what is a pointer? Pointer is also a variable like any other variable. Okay, for example, if I say an integer a, int a, when I declare this, memory gets allocated for an integer a. Okay, which means a variable, this memory location can hold an integer value, that is the meaning. So if I initialize it, it will hold that initialized value. Okay, so this is a memory location. Similarly, pointer is also a memory location which can hold the address of another memory location. That's all. It can hold the address instead of a particular value, it can hold the address of another memory location. So this is a pointer. Fine. How do we declare it? Declaration is by using star. Okay, it's not a multiplication symbol. Okay, as long as it is unary, it is like this. Okay, so for example, I want to give a name called PA to this. So the declaration should be star PA. But what I want to hold the address of an integer variable. Then I need to declare this as int star PA. So the meaning of this declaration, PA is a name of a memory location, which is used to represent to hold, which is used to hold the address of another memory location. Memory location. Which memory location? Which is holding an integer variable. That memory location's address I want to hold in PA. So this should be the declaration. Then how do I initialize it? Initialization is like this. Declaration together initialization. So PA should hold the address of another, address of A. So this is A, address of A is nothing but this one, ampersand A. So whatever is the address of A, that will be held by PA. But what is the address of A? A is an integer variable. Integer variable means there are 2 bytes of memory. First byte's address is 1000, second byte's address is 1001, for example. Okay, so address of A is nothing but always first byte's address. First byte's address is called the address of that variable. So 1000. Now PA holds the address of A, which is 1000. So this is pointer variable. Okay, so PA holds the address of A. So this is declaration and this is initialization. Okay, should I write like this only? You can split it also, no problem. I can say int star PA, this is a declaration. PA equal to address of A. Similarly to this, see first I can declare int A, then I can say A equal to 5. Similar to that, I can do for pointers also. Okay, fine. Then how do I access? See, once I hold the address of an integer variable, I want to access that integer value through this address. That is the importance of a pointer. See, if I don't want to access this using this address, I don't have to hold its address first of all. There is no need of pointer concept then. See, why I have holded the address is I want to access this value through this address. How do I do this? This is called accessing. How do I access its value? By using dereferencing operator star. Star PA is nothing but we want to access the contents in the address which is held by PA. PA held the address of 1000. What is the value in that 1000? 5. So the star PA is nothing but this memory location's content. If I print it, it will print 5. If I try to assign a value, for example, if I say star PA equal to 10, so that particular value gets updated with 10. So for retrieval as well as for assigning a value, I will go for star P. This is accessing. So this is declaration, this is initialization, and this is how we access. Access the value through this pointer. Is it okay? Similar to this. Once I declare it and initialize it, how do I access the contents? Whenever I want to access, I will call with its name. That name is nothing but its content. Similarly, through this pointer, if I want to access, so star PA I should say. If I say PA, it will give me PS content 1000. So star PA is nothing but thousands content, which is 10. Okay, so I can access it as well as I can assign a value to it. So this declaration is fine, this initialization is fine, and star PA equal to an integer constant. This is an integer constant. You cannot assign an address straight away, finding the address and assigning. No. You can only say whatever is the address of PA, assign it to PA. The first doubt that we have is, should I say PA equal to address of A or star PA equal to address of A? Next doubt, PA equal to an integer constant or star PA equal to integer constant? This is the first doubt, because if these two are true, how come you are saying star PA equal to address of A? Star PA means you are talking about an integer value, then why we are assigning address of A? This will be our first doubt. Is this line correct? Yes, that is also correct. All these three are correct. Similarly, that line is also correct, because this is not just a star PA. See, this is the declaration part. That is the declaration, and this one is initialization. PA equal to address of A is the right statement. Star PA equal to address of A is wrong. Compiler will give an error. Okay. So, but in this single line, we are doing both together. So, int star PA is up to declaration. PA equal to address of A is initialization. So, this is how we separated here. Okay. So, this statement is correct. When you combine these two together, this is how we write. And this is also correct, because we want to dereference a particular value to that integer value, and that either we want to access or we want to update with an integer constant. So all these statements are correct. Is that fine till now? See, I have started from the very starting of the pointer, so please observe carefully. If you have any doubts in between, you can ask me there and then. So that is about integer point. Okay. Let's talk about a character point. Char star. So the declaration should be char star PC. What is the declaration meaning? PC is a pointer variable. It's a pointer variable. Star indicates pointer variable. I can simply say pointer. Okay, which is nothing but a variable definitely. Okay, and it is used to hold the address of a character variable's address. This PC is used to store the address of a character variable, which means there should be a character variable first, char C, and its value is, for example, one particular character X. Okay, so this is C in which X is present. Its address is 2000, for example. Only one byte, right? So 2000. Now I want to hold that 2000 in this PC. So how should I initialize it? I should say PC equal to address of C. Whatever is the address of C, that I want to hold it in PC, which means PC has 2000. So to access this value, I should say star PC. That's all. Saying star PC will give me the content X. So if I have some char Z, I can just say star PC in Z. So star PC is nothing but X, character X, that will come and sit in this char Z. This is Z into which I am assigning X with this one. Either you access it or you update it. You can still say star PC equal to another character A, which means PC has some address, the value in that address is updated to capital A. Okay, this is character pointer. Similarly, float pointer. If you want to hold the address of a float variable, you should declare a float pointer. So whatever is the variable, okay, whose address you want to store, as per that only you should create that pointer. See, a simple example. If I have an integer I, PC is char star PC, right? PC is char star PC. Can I say PC equal to address of I? where I is an integer variable, PC is char star PC. Is this assignment fine? No, this is wrong. C doesn't allow this. Because your declaration says you want to store the address of a character variable, but you are trying to assign the address of an integer variable. This is not okay. C is strictly typed. Okay. So whatever is the variable that you have declared, if you want to hold its address, you need to declare a pointer of that type only. Then only you can hold the address of that particular variable. Okay. Right. Then. So now you understood what is a simple pointer. Now we'll go into the details one by one. See, today completely I am explaining the concept only. We are not going to start gate questions. This is very important class. Please go through each and every point carefully. If you have a doubt, you stop me there and then immediately. Right. I am talking about void pointer now. Void pointer. See, my requirement is like this. I have an integer I. This is the declaration. So, it is integer 5. Its address is 1000 for example. Also, I have a char C which has character X. So, C, its address is 2000 which has character X in it. Also, I have a float variable F in which I have a value 3.14. This is 4 bytes data which has 3.14 and its address is 3000. Now, I want to have only one pointer P which can hold the address of an integer variable also, a character variable also, a float variable also, or if you have other data types, any data type, yes, I want to hold the address of any data types variables base address. Then I should declare this P as void pointer. This should be the declaration. So void pointer means P can hold the address of any data types variables base address. Any data types variable, whether it is integer, character, float, whatever the data types you have in C, for all of them, P is a pointer which can hold the base address of all those variables. Okay. So this is a declaration, void star P. So when I declare this, memory gets allocated and this is P. Now, I want to initialize P. I am saying P equal to address of I. Just with this one line, address of I, that is 1000, will come and sit in P. Okay, initialization is done. Once I initialize it, what is the purpose? I want to access the contents of this integer variable through this pointer. That is my intention. Otherwise, there is no point in having its address. Yes, I want to access its content through this P. How do I access? For example, if I say %d, how should I access the contents? Normally, if P is an integer pointer, I should have said star P. Just star P will give me 5. If P is an integer pointer, but P is not an integer pointer now, it's a void pointer. If it was an integer pointer, yes, I have its address. I will go to the base address. Because it is an integer pointer, I will access 2 bytes of data and consider that as data and give. If it is a character pointer and I have its address, I will go to that particular address and access 1 byte because it is character pointer, which means I'm pretty clear that I'm pointing to a character. I need to access only 1 byte's data. If it is a float pointer, if I declare this P as a float pointer, I will go to that pointer base address and I will access 4 bytes data because I know I'm pointing to a float variable. But once you declare this as a void pointer and if you have a base address, how do I come to know how many bytes of data I should access to consider that as a data? Is a question, correct? So that's why you cannot straight away use a dereferencing pointer, a dereferencing operator for void pointer. No. First of all, you need to do a typecasting. If you want to use star P, first P should be typecasted. Because P is pointing to an integer variable, I am converting this P to integer pointer temporarily for this expression and then using a dereferencing operator. This is just a typecasting. P should be considered as an integer pointer for this expression, only for this line, and then go for dereferencing. So take the base address, go here, consider this address as an integer pointer and access 2 bytes of data, dereferencing, access the data and give me the value. Then it will print 5. Similarly, after some time, if I say P equal to address of C, then P will have the address of C which is 2000, which means P is pointing to this character, this variable. Okay, after some time if I try to print %C star P, it will not work because P is a void pointer. If it was a character pointer, straight away this would have given me the content X. But because this is a void pointer, first you need to do a typecasting of P, then only you can use a dereferencing operator. Similarly, after some time, if I want to hold the address of F in P, so just this with one line, this F's address 3000 will come and sit in P, which means P is pointing to this. And if I want to access its content through this pointer, obviously again a typecasting is needed. Load star P and then go for a dereferencing, then only you can access the value in it. Okay. This is void pointer. A pointer which can hold the address of any data types variable is called a void pointer. But if you want to go for a dereferencing for that void pointer, first you need to do a typecasting, local typecasting, and then only you can go for dereferencing operator. Okay, this is void pointer. Next one, null pointer. What is null pointer? So for example, P is a pointer, A is an integer. Now let me say this is PA, this is A. A is an integer A, so 5 is there. PA is an integer pointer which has the address of this A, 1000. Okay. See, though we are writing this arrow, internally in the memory there are no arrows. It is only holding the address, that's all. Holding the address of A here is nothing but this is pointing to that. Just for representation, we are drawing the arrow marks. Okay, internally only memory locations and their addresses are held by the pointer variables. Okay, fine. So this is initial state. But then after some time, for some reason, PA holds null in it. Either it could be intentional or by mistake. Okay, for example, PA equal to null. PA was made as null. Okay, then once this is null, if you, without knowing, if you say star PA, you were thinking that PA has the address of an integer variable and then trying to dereference it. But PA is having null value, and for that if you use a dereferencing, this is a runtime error. Null pointer dereferencing error. We should not do this. It's a programmer's mistake. By mistake you made it as null without PA pointing to a particular proper variable. You are trying to dereferencing the value, which means you are trying to retrieve the value from that location, which is an error. Okay, we should not do this. This is null pointer dereferencing error. This is called null pointer. Generally, it happens in linked list, if you remember. Okay, this is a head pointer and this is a linked list. And we generally maintain a temporary pointer P which holds the first node. P goes to P's next, P's next, P's next. And by mistake at the end, P has null in it. Without knowing this, if you try to say P arrow data, this is a null pointer dereferencing error. P is already holding null. It's not pointing to a particular node. Okay? Then if you try to access its data, P is having null, so which is an error. Okay? This is null pointer. Then dangling pointer. What is dangling pointer? Initially, PA holds the address of A. So PA has 1000 in it. Okay. Then after some time, for some reason, this variable A is not there in the process area anymore. Initially it was. Initially memory was allocated and its address was held by PA. Everything was working fine. But after some time, during execution after some time, this PA is reallocated, given back to operating system. But still your pointer is pointing to that memory location which is not in your process area anymore. And for that PA, if you use a dereferencing, this is a problem. You should not do this again. Star PA you are saying, which means thousands content. The 1000 memory location is not in your process area anymore, which is, you should not use that anymore. Okay? So this is dangling pointer error. Again, it's a programmer's mistake. We should not do this. Okay? Because you without understanding that this memory variable is not there, you are still pointing to that location. This is a programmer's mistake. Okay? In which case it can happen generally? In which case it can happen? A simple example. So I have a pointer variable PA. So after some statements, a block started, and here I declared an integer A in a block. And I said PA equal to address of A. Once I come out, if I try to say printf percentage d star PA, this is a problem. It works temporarily, but you are doing a mistake. Why? See, this is a variable which is declared in this block. So what is its lifetime? Auto variable's lifetime? Only control, as long as the control lies within the block in which it is declared. Once the control comes out of this block, that's all. You lost this variable. It's not in your process area anymore. Okay? A is lost. But still your PA holds the address of this A. When you come out of this block, A is missing, but you still have PA. PA is in this block, so this is in your process area, and you are holding the address of a memory location which is not in your process area in this step. And you are trying to dereferencing that location, which is wrong. You should not do it. This is dangling pointer. Fine. Till now, everything is clear. Yeah. Let me just give you a char star, in which case you can use char star. Char star already we have discussed. A simple character variable, we want to hold its address. So char star. And there is one more case where you can use char star. For example, char star yes is equal to x, y, z. This is a string, correct? This is a string, but here I declared char star yes, and still it is working fine. So what is happening in this declaration is, this is a string, constant kind of, which will definitely sit in memory because string is nothing but a character array, x, y, z, that ends with a null character. That is called a string. It's a character array only. Okay, and the first bytes, this is first byte, second byte. First byte's address is 1000. And yes is a char star which holds the address of the first byte. This is happening with this declaration. This is what is happening internally in RAM. S is a character pointer variable which holds the first byte's address. First character. This is, everything is a character, right? First character's address. So it's a char star only. So you should not think like this. Oh, it's a string. How can a character pointer can hold a string? Because internally this is how it's maintained. It is not holding the whole string. No. It is just holding the address of a character. Yes, this is a character for me. I am holding its address. So char star s declaration is fine because I am holding the address of a character variable only. After that, other characters are also there, but with this declaration only this much is happening. Yes, there is a provision to move forward. S can be incremented like this. so that s points to this character, and I can modify it also. Okay. You may think, okay, what is the difference between this and if I declare a character array like this? If I declare a character array and say x, y, z, null character array, this is also string character array that ends with a null character. What is the difference between these two? In all the latest compilers, there is no difference between these two. There used to be a difference in the old compilers. Now there is no difference. Okay, in old compilers, this is considered as a string constant. Literal means constant. Once it's a constant, you cannot modify the contents. Only you can access it. You cannot modify it. But that is a variable. Each one is a variable, character variable. So you can modify it. That was the difference. But now there is no such difference. You everywhere, wherever you can use this, you can use this. So people stop using that way. Okay. Now we are using this method only. You can access. You can straight away say, see, I'll explain you how to access each and every character. Yes, you can say star of s plus 1 is equal to capital Y. So s is pointing to this, s plus 1 will point to the next character. Its content, I want to update it to capital Y. Yes. Now it's working. All latest compilers. Right? So character pointer can be used this way also. Need not be just the one that we discussed earlier. Right. The next one is pointer arithmetic. Okay, now we discussed a pointer, character pointer, integer pointer, float pointer, void pointer, null pointer, dangling pointer, where you can use a character pointer if you want to hold a string. It's not that we are holding a string, we are just holding the first character's address in character pointer. Right, the next one is pointer arithmetic. Which means the arithmetic operations that can be performed on pointers. That is the meaning. Okay, to understand this, let me declare a small array. Anyway, you know what is an array. So let me declare a small array. Int a of 5. You know the meaning, right? A is an array in which there are 5 elements. Each element is an integer. That is the meaning. A is an array in which there are 5 elements. Each element is an integer. Okay. How do I initialize it? Give some values 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. This is declaration. Okay. Then what I am saying is I want to hold it in P. Whatever I am writing on right hand side, that I want to hold it in P. Definitely this type and this type must be same, otherwise you cannot hold the value. Okay, the types must be same. So what is the type that I should declare so that I can hold whatever is there in A, I can hold it in P also. What is the type that I need to declare? This is when you need to know what is A actually. Whenever you declare an array name A always indicates the first element's address. Array name A indicates the address of the first element of the array. See, when I ask you what is an array name indicates, you should not tell me that array name indicates the address of the array. No, this is a wrong statement. Array name indicates address of the first element of the array. This is a right statement. There is a much difference between these two statements. I will explain you once I come to arrays. Okay. Array name indicates first element's address. In this array, what is the first element? This one. First element is an integer. I am saying its address. So integer's address, which means it's an integer pointer. A is an integer pointer only. So P also should be an integer pointer. Then only P can hold A. First you can declare it like this. p as an integer pointer, then you can assign it. Or together you can write int star p is equal to e. Is fine. Okay, which means internally the declaration is like this. Ten, 20, 30, 40, 50. The first element's address is 1000. Each integer needs 2 bytes. So I am saying this is 1002, 1004, 1006, 1008. That's all. Only that much is allocated. And where is A maintained? A is maintained in a symbol table as a symbolic constant, saying that A is an integer pointer and its value is 1000 because A is first element's address. This is first element, its address is 1000. It's maintained. What is its type? First element's address. First element is an integer, its address means integer point. So type and value. You should be very, very clear. Whenever I write a pointer, immediately you should tell me what is its type and what is its value. Then you are very comfortable with pointers. You don't have to write in array syntaxes. You don't have to write. Immediately you will go for pointer representation while writing the code. Okay, so internally this is what is happening when you declare this. When I declare this, what is happening? P, pointer P, memory gets allocated. With this one line, whatever is the value of A is kept in P. What is the value of A? 1000 is kept in P. P is also an integer pointer. Till now it is clear, right? Yes. Now I want to perform arithmetic operations on pointer variables. Yes. The first operation that I can perform is incrementation. Incrementation of a pointer. I can say plus p. Incrementation of a pointer I can do. What is the meaning of this? Even if it is a normal integer, when I say plus a, what is happening? A equal to a plus 1, right? Similarly here, p equal to p plus 1. That is the meaning. But what is p actually? P is 1000. When I say plus 1, what is happening? It is not 1001. It is not 1001 because internally, whenever you say plus 1, this 1 gets multiplied by internally. Okay? It gets multiplied by the number of bytes needed for the type of p. What is p? P is a pointer, no doubt. But what is its type? Integer pointer. So integer needs how many bytes? 2 bytes. For example, on my computer it needs 2 bytes. So with that 2 it gets multiplied. On your computer if it needs 4, it gets multiplied by 4. So though you are saying plus 1, internally that 1 gets multiplied by the number of bytes needed by that type on that computer. So it is 1000 plus 2, 1002. So p value gets updated to 1002. Till now p is pointing to this element. When I update this, when I incremented it, p is pointing to this element now. It's pointing to that element, second element, with that incrementation. Can I say plus a? Is this possible? No, this is wrong. Because a is an array name. I said a is maintained as a constant in symbol table. It's a constant, you cannot modify it. You can access it. You can access it, but you cannot update it. With this, you are trying to update it. You are trying to say a equal to a plus 1. This assignment is wrong. That's why it is wrong. You can just say a plus 1. This is fine. This is fine. But a equal to a plus 1 is wrong. That's why incrementation is not possible on the array name. But p is a temporal variable, right? Variable, it can be updated. So I have written increment operation on p. Similarly, decrementation minus p or p minus. Both are okay, which means p equal to p minus 1. For now, p is 1002. When I say minus 1, internally that 1 gets multiplied by the number of bytes needed for an integer because it is an integer pointer. So it is 1000. So till now p is pointing to the second element. When I say decrement, it will point to its previous element. This is decrementation. Is that fine? You are saying only for integers. How about characters and float? Yes, it will work the same way. If p was a character pointer, if you said 1, that 1 multiplied by character means 1 byte, so only with 1. So it would have pointed to 1001. If it was float, it gets multiplied by 4. So it will go accordingly. Okay? So whenever you are saying incrementation, the p is pointing to the next element. I am not saying next integer or next character because it depends on what is that array type. It's an integer array, that's why next integer. If it was a character array, next character. If it was a float array, next float. Okay, that is incrementation because these jumps happen accordingly. Right? Then third one. Adding an integer to a pointer. Adding an integer to a pointer. For example, I am adding value 2 to a pointer p plus 2. P is a pointer and I am adding 2 to it. Yes, it's acceptable. I can add an integer to a pointer. For now, p is 1000. So, if I say 2 to it, it's not internally 2 that gets added. That 2 gets multiplied by whatever is the size of that pointer. P is an integer pointer. Integer needs 2 bytes. So, it gets multiplied by that. So, it will give me 1004. P plus 2 will give me 1004 if integer needs 2 bytes. I can update that to p again so that p will hold 1004. So when I till now p is pointing to 1000. When I say p equal to p plus 2, p is pointing to third element. I can update p. I cannot update a. I can update p. Similarly, I can say a plus 2. This is fine. I cannot say a equal to a plus 2 because you cannot modify a. So what is a value? A value is 1000 plus 2, which means 2 gets multiplied by whatever is the size. So 1004. A plus 2 is an expression which gives me 1004, but I am not trying to hold it in any other value. Okay, it's just an expression. So adding an integer to a pointer is also fine. Similarly, subtraction of an integer from a pointer is also possible. Something like p minus 2. For now, p is 1004. So if I say 1004 minus 2, the 2 gets multiplied by 2, it will give me 1000. So addition and subtraction of integers from a pointer is also okay. Fifth one, assignment. Yes, assignment of pointers is possible and we have done that already. Only thing is both of them must be of same type, then only you can assign. I have declared whatever is the type of A, same type I declared for P, that's why assignment was possible. Then, for example, if I have a pointer P1 pointing to this integer, one more pointer P2 pointing to this integer, can I say P1 plus P2, which means addition of 2 pointers. Is this allowed in C? Addition of 2 pointers. This is not allowed in C. Compiler will give compilation error. Okay. But subtraction of 2 pointers is allowed. Subtraction of 2 pointers is allowed. Both of them must be of same type. P1 is also integer pointer. P2 is also integer pointer. So I can say P1 minus P2. This is a valid expression. But what is the answer? What it gives? It will give me the number of elements present between those 2 pointers. P1 is 1002, which means P1 is here. P2 is 1006, which means P2 is here. How many elements are present between these two? 2 elements. So it will give me 2. So subtraction of 2 pointers will give me the number of elements present between. I am not saying number of integers. Because they are integer pointers, they will give me the two integers. If they were character pointers, they will tell me how many characters are present between those two pointers. So the number of elements present between those two. Should I say P1 minus P2 or P2 minus P1? Anything is okay, both will work. Whether you write this way or that way, both will give me the number of elements present between those two. But make sure that both the pointers are pointing to the same array. Then only it will give a meaningful answer. If P1 is pointing to this array, P2 is pointing to some other array which is declared somewhere in the RAM, what is the point in doing P1 minus P2? It will give some answer, but how does it helpful? Is it a meaningful answer for my program? If P1 is here and P2 is here, what should I do? How many elements are, by knowing how many elements are there between those two? It will give a meaningful answer only when both the pointers are pointing to one single array. Yes, there is a meaning to know how many elements are present between those two pointers. Okay? So these are the arithmetic operations that can be performed on pointers. You can increment a pointer, you can decrement a pointer, you can add and subtract an integer to a pointer. You can do subtraction of two pointers if they are of same type. And assignment is also possible if both of them are of same type. Constants. Constant you cannot modify. If I declare an integer, this one as a constant, you cannot modify a anywhere. Similarly, this variable name, array name, is like a constant. You cannot modify a. You can only just use it. Array name is like a constant. Array name indicates address of the first element of the array. Please write this line. Array name indicates address of the first element of the array. So that is about pointer arithmetic. Next one is pointer to a pointer. Pointer to a pointer. For example, first I have an integer int a is equal to 5, which means memory gets allocated for integer whose address is 1000 and there is 5 in it. Fine. And this 1000 I want to hold it in another memory location. That's why I declared an integer pointer. If I want to hold that 1000 here, I have to declare this memory location. I want to hold the address, so this should be a pointer. How should I declare? It's a pointer. Its name is PA and it's a pointer for an integer variable. It's a pointer for an integer variable. So pointer, which means star, for an integer variable, int star. Okay, then initialization. Now PA should hold address of. Fine. So this is done. Because this is also a memory location, for example, its address is 2000. Now I want to hold the 2000 in another memory location and I want to give its name as PPA. How should I declare this? Name is PPA, fine. I want to hold the address of another memory location, so it should be a pointer because I am holding the address. Okay. Whose address? I want to hold the address of, what is this? This is an integer pointer. It is not an integer. This is an integer pointer. So the type should be int star. So PPA is to hold the address. So it is star. I want to hold the address of an integer pointer. That's why int star, which means PPA's declaration should be int double star PPA. Int double star PPA. Initialization, address of PPA. So that 2000 will come and set here. And this is also memory location, so it has its own address 3000 for example. This is called pointer to a pointer. This is just a pointer. This is pointer to another point. Pointer to a point. Okay. Yes. So if I declare this, when I access values like this, for example, printer, percentage %d, if I say A, what gets printed? A's value, content 5. If I say address of A, what gets printed? Address of A, 1000. If I say PA, what gets printed? PA. Variable name, so its content, 1000. When I say address of PA, %PA, PA's address, 2000. When I say PPA, its content, PPA's content, 2000. But if I say address of PPA is 3000. Till here it's fine. Now, if I say star PA, what gets printed? Star PA. PA means 1000. Star PA is, PA has some address, the value in that address is 5. Similarly, star PPA, what gets printed? PPA has some address, the value in that address, 1000. Only one time dereference. Now I am using 2 time dereference. Star PPA. 2 levels of dereference. PPA has some address, that address has another address, that address has the value 5. This is 2 times dereference. Star PPA will give me 5. This is pointer to a pointer. Fine. Pointers is not yet completed. Just to start arrays, yes, this much of introduction to pointers is enough to start arrays. We will come back to pointers again. We have so many details about pointers. But once you are comfortable with arrays also and it's how internally they are pointers, then you will understand pointers in depth. Yes, array. What is an array? Collection of related data items which are of same data type and that are stored in contiguous memory location. All the 3 points are important for an array definition. It's a collection of related data items. There should be a relation between the elements, which means, for example, if I declare an array, I want to store the marks of all the students, marks, or I want to store the height of all the students, or I want to store the weight of all the students. That I'm storing only one particular value of all the students. It's not that in the first element I want to store the marks of the first student, in the second value I want to store the height of the second person, in the third one I want to store the weight of the third person. This is wrong. There is no relation between the data. Related. There should be a relation between the data of same data type. All the values must be of same type. Either all of them are integers, or all of them are floats, or all of them are chars. Same data type. And they are stored in contiguous memory location. See, if I declare int a comma b, a, b, c, a is declared here in memory, b is declared here, c is somewhere there. Maybe this address is 1000, this is 2000, this is 3000, they are scattered everywhere. But once you declare an array, all the values are stored contiguously, one after the other, one after the other. They are all together. Yes, so continuous. Okay. So that is array definition. How do you declare? How do you declare a variable? Sorry, an integer variable. I mean array variable. Array name in square bracket. We want to give the size, means how many elements we want to store, how many data elements. What is the type of each element? This is the declaration. A is an array name which has 5 elements in it. Each element is an integer type. That is a declaration meaning. How do I initialize it? Give the values here in flower brackets 10, 20, 30, 40. 5 elements. So internally, when I declare this, what is happening? Memory gets allocated for all the 5 elements. First element's address is 1000, second one is 1002 because each integer needs 2 bytes, assuming 2 bytes. And in symbol table, A is maintained as a constant, its type is integer pointer, its value is 1000. This is what is internally happening once you declare and initialize. Okay. But I declare it to be 5 elements, but I give only 2 elements. Then what happens to all the other 3? What happens to all the other 3? First element is first one, second one is second one, but the other 3, do they have garbage? No, they are automatically initialized to 0. If I do not initialize at all, then every element is a garbage. It's not initialized to 0. Okay, if you do not initialize at all, which means you just declare. Then 5 elements, all the 5 elements are garbage. But once you initialize like this, 2 elements are like this, the other 3 are zeros, automatically initialized to zeros. If you initialize just with 1 0, all the 5 elements are zeros. This is initialization. Okay, when it comes to array initialization, there is a difference between C and Java. You know Java, right? So there is a difference. Yes, this is initialization. And now, how do you access the elements of the array? How do you access the elements of the array? The name is common for all of them. The only difference is in the subscript, the value that you give as a subscript. It always starts with 0. Okay, once you declare an array, the array indexing always starts with 0. So A of 0 is nothing but this particular value, for example 10. So whenever you say A of 0, the value 10 is retrieved. If you want to assign it to some other value, yes, 10 is assigned. Even if you want to update that value to 100, yes, it will go and update. Accessing, whether it is for retrieval or for updation. Same, A of 0, array with an array index. It always starts with 0 in C. Internally, this is not how it is working. We are writing A of 0 on a high level program, okay, but internally it is not working like an array. Internally everything is a pointer. Now we will see what is the connection between array and a pointer. You should understand this so that you will be very comfortable with pointers once you understand this. Okay, please concentrate. I have declared an integer array here of 5, initialized like this, which means internally memory gets allocated for 5 elements and there is a symbol table in which A is maintained as a constant. But what is its type and what is its value? As I told you, array name A always indicates address of the first element of the array. It's not the address of the array. Never ever say that it is the address of the array. No, there is a difference. Address of the first element of the array. First element here is an integer. That's why it is an integer pointer. So first element is an integer. Every element is an integer. So first element is also an integer. I'm saying its point, its address, which means integer point. That is its type. What is its value? First element's address is also 1000. Second element is 1002, 1004, 6, 8. Yes. Now, if I want to assign that A to P, how should I declare this P? I told you both the types must be same, then only assignment is possible. Whatever is the type of A, same type I should declare for P. A's type is int star, so I declare P also as int star. Yes, now it will work. This assignment is fine. Which means memory gets allocated for P. This is a variable, that's why memory gets allocated for P. And it holds A's value. A's value is 1000. So 1000 will come and sit in P. Which means P is pointing to the first element of the array. Again, I am not saying P is pointing to the array. No, P is pointing to the first element of the array. Now, let us try to write different expressions in pointers. We will see what is the type of each pointer and what is the value if we write that expression. So I am dividing this into 3 parts like this. This is the expression I am writing. This is the type and this is the value. First I am writing the expression. Simple one, A. What is the type of A? Int star. First element's address. Array name indicates first element's address. So int star. What is its value? First element's address is 1000. This is very clear. How about P? Tell me that also. A and P both are of same type. See, declaration itself says int star. So P's type is int star. What is its value? Because of this initialization, P also has 1000 in it. Till now, fine. Now I'm writing the expressions. First thing I'm saying A plus 2. A plus 2. This is the first expression I'm writing. This is a valid expression because I can add an integer to a pointer, value. But what is its type and what is its value? The value you are anyway clear with the pointer arithmetic, right? When you add an integer to a pointer, this integer gets multiplied by whatever is the number of bytes needed for this type. This is integer pointer. Integer needs 2 bytes, so this 2 gets multiplied by 2, and that will be the value. For example, if this is 1000, A is anyway 1000 plus 2 into 2, 4, correct? So this becomes 1004. The value is 1004. This is clear. But what is its type? This is important. This is the second point I am telling you. What is the first point that I told you? Array name indicates address of the first element of the array. This is the first point. Second point, whenever you add an integer to a pointer, the type of the whole expression does not change. Which means the type of the whole expression is same as the type of this variable. When you add an integer or when you subtract an integer from a pointer to a pointer, the type of the expression is same as the type of this pointer, or the type of the expression does not change, which means whatever is the type here, same is the type for the whole. A's type is int star, so A plus 2 is also int star. So what is the second point? By adding or subtracting an integer to a pointer does not change the type of the pointer. A cannot be modified, that's why I didn't say A equal to A plus 2, but P can be modified. I am saying plus plus P. What is the meaning? P equal to P plus 1 is the meaning. P is 1000, 1000 plus 1 is 1002. So plus plus P will give me 1002. But what is its type? By adding an integer to a pointer, even if I say plus plus P, it is nothing but adding 1 to P and assigning it to P. What is its type? By adding an integer to a pointer, type of pointer doesn't change. So P's type is same as type of plus plus p also star only. Fine. Okay, now I'm saying star of a plus 3. Star of a plus 3. First a. If you have a confusion, let me first write a plus 3. A plus 2, a plus 3, both are same, right? A plus 2 is same as a plus 3. What is a plus 3? By adding an integer to a pointer, type of pointer does not change, so it is integer point only. A plus 3, a is 1000, so plus 3 will be 1006. So if I say star of a plus 3, because a plus 3 is an integer pointer, for an integer pointer, if I use a dereferencing, it will give me its content. For an integer pointer, if I use a dereferencing, it will give me the contents of this address. This address is 1006, so its content is star of. So 1006 content is 40. Because this is integer pointer, its dereferencing will give me only integer. Its content, right? Its content is an integer. So star of a plus 3 is int type. Only a plus 3 is integer pointer, int star. Because this is int star, that's why the dereferencing gave me the actual value, the content of it. 40 is an integer. Is that clear? Then I'm saying star a plus 3. There is a difference between star of a plus 3, star a plus 3. This is unary operator. We know unary operators have more priority than arithmetic. So first I need to evaluate star a. Okay. Once I evaluate star a, that's when we go to star a plus 3. Okay, what is star a? A is integer pointer. A is integer pointer. Because A is int star type, star A will give me its content. A's value is 1000. A is 1000. And that too it is an integer pointer. Because this is an integer pointer, which is pointing to this element, star A will give me its content, which means the value is 10. This is an integer. You know, right? At the very starting we declared int A is 5. Int star PA is address of A. That's when star PA will give me A. Value 5. Star PA will give me 5. Star PA is giving me the value present at the address of. Same. A is 1000 address. Star A will give me its content because A is int star type. This is not same always. Because A is an integer pointer, that's why it is giving me its content. Now star A plus 3. Star A is integer 10. Star A plus 3 is 10 plus 3, 13, which is an integer. Is that okay? So there is a difference between star of A plus 3 and star A plus 3. Okay? Star A plus 3. And even if I say star A plus 3 of plus 2, same, there is no difference. Already this is an integer. For an integer, you are adding one more integer. 13 plus 2, 15. There is no confusion. We have written all the expressions on A only. You can write the same expressions on P, no problem. P is 1000. If I say star of P plus 2, already P is 1000, int star. For an integer pointer, if I add 2, P is pointing to this plus 1, point to this plus 2 will point to this. So, P plus 2 will be 1004 integer pointer. Up to this, the type is integer pointer only because P is integer pointer. Adding an integer to it Does not change the type of pointer. So till here it is an integer pointer. And the value is also 1004. So because it is an integer pointer, star p will give me its content, 1004's content, which is 30. And that is an integer. Is that okay? When p is already pointing to 1000, I didn't update p, right? So p is still at 1000. If I just say star p, because p is integer pointer and the value is 1000, star p is 1000's content. 1000's content is 10 and the value is integer. Are all these expressions clear? Which means you are getting into a comfortable stage in pointers if all of them are clear. And we'll go to the next slide if it is clear till now. Just 2 points. Array name indicates address of the first element of the array. If you add an integer to a pointer, the type of pointer does not change. If you use a dereferencing operator, as long as this is an integer pointer or character pointer, dereferencing will give me its content. It is not true always. Because this is an integer pointer, character pointer, or float pointer, a normal pointer, dereferencing will give me its content. Don't assume that whenever you see a star, it will give me its content. No. We will go to that point now. In all these cases, yes. Because the internal ones are straight pointer types only, there's no problem. It is giving me the contents. We are at the very basic level, right? That's why we are just there. Yes, we'll go to the next point. Now, right hand side, I want to write address of A. What should I declare on the left hand side? Unless both of them are of same type, this assignment doesn't work. So whatever is the type of this expression, same should be the type on this side also. Then only this assignment is fine. Now tell me, what is the type? What is the type of ampersand A? Immediate question. A is not a memory location. You said it's a constant. How come it can have the address? Yes, it's not a memory location, so there is no address straight away. See, if at all A is a memory location, definitely it will give me some other address. Because this is a separate location. If A is also a separate location, for example, its address is 2000, this will give me 2000. No, but internally, if you execute and see, if you say printf percentage u ampersand A, it will give me 1000, not 2000, which means A is not a separate memory location. That's very clear. A is indirectly maintained as a constant in symbol table, but ampersand A is a valid expression. And I'm telling you the value also, the value is 1000. If you try to print this, it will print 1000. Then what is the type of ampersand? Type of ampersand. Type of A is int star, but type of ampersand A is not int star. Yes, this is the point that I want to tell you very clearly. Array name. Array name indicates address of the first element of the array. That's why this is int star. First element is integer. That's why it's star. Address of A is, this represents address of the whole array. I told you, right, there is a difference between address of the array and address of the first element of the array. This is the difference. A indicates address of the first element of the array. Ampersand A indicates address of the array, the whole array, address of the array. Then what is its type? What is its type? If I say ampersand A is a meaningful answer, meaningful type, meaningful value, then what is the type of the pointer? Because it is the address of the array. What is its type? This is address of an integer array of size 5. This is the address of an integer array of size 5. Very clear. Address of the array. But I am giving you the detail also. Address of the array in which there are 5 integers. This is the meaning. This is address of the integer array of size 5. Yes, this is an array, its address is 1000. That's why ampersand A is also 1000. A is also 1000. Ampersand A is also 1000. Value is clear. But what is its type? That is important. How do you declare? A straight question. How do you declare a pointer to hold the address of an integer array of size 5? That's all. Maybe you will start writing like this. Okay. Pointer for, okay, it's a pointer for an integer array of size 5. So there should be an integer and there should be 5 elements in it. A name should be given. Okay, start with this is the declaration. This is what you might be telling me. This is wrong. Because this indicates P is an array of 5 elements, which means there are 5 elements in it. Each element is an integer pointer, which means this is also holding the address of some integer, this is holding the address of another integer, this is holding the address of another integer. All are addresses. This means array of pointers. Like array of integers, this is array of pointers. This is not my requirement. My requirement is just one pointer. The memory needed just to hold the address, only one element, one pointer, to hold the address of an integer array. This is my requirement, not this one. If you write like this is what is happening. But my requirement is this pointer, which can hold the address of an array, an integer array of size 5. How do I declare it? You understood this declaration, right? If you declare this is what is happening, my requirement is there are 5 elements. I want just one pointer pointing to this integer array. Declaration should be like this. Integers are P of 5. There should be a bracket for star P. This is a pointer P, which means this one. It's a pointer. For what? Pointer for what? It's a pointer for an integer array of size 5. That is the meaning. There is an integer array of size 5. I want to hold the base address of it. That is P. This is the declaration. So P is a pointer which can hold the address of an integer array of size 5. If you keep brackets, this is the memory allocation. If you do not keep bracket, if you open it like this is the memory allocation. There is a lot of difference between these two. That is an array of pointers. This is pointer to an array. So clear? Now this ampersand A is pointer to, is a meaning. The meaning is address of an array. Address of an integer array of size 5. So that if I want to hold this in Q, the declaration should be like this. Because I want a pointer. So the declaration should be like this, star of Q of 5. then ampersand A can come and sit in Q. So what is the address of A's type? It is in star. I am keeping it in bracket because I am not giving the names. Keep star in bracket of 5. This is the type. We are interested in only the type, not the names. So that is the declaration. So this is how you declare and assign. So Q is a pointer pointing to the base address of the integer array of size 5. So Q is also having 1000. P is also having 1000. Q is also having 1000. A is also having thousands. Ampersand A is also 1000. You understood the difference, right? P and A are pointing to the first element. Q and ampersand A are pointing to the whole array. Now you will understand the difference. What is the difference between them? Now it will be clear. When I say ampersand A, it is int star of 5, value is 1000. Similarly, Q, because both are of same type, this is also of same type, 1000. Now, if I say Q plus 1, what will be the value? If this was an integer pointer, Q plus 1 will point to the very next integer. If this was a character pointer, to the very next char. If this is float, to the very next float. But Q is pointer to an integer array of size 5. So Q plus 1 is next integer array of size 5. Already this is an integer array of size 5. If at all you have the very next integer array of size 5, this Q plus 1 will point to that, which means 1010. The next element, if at all it is there, it will be 1010. So the value is 1010. By adding an integer to a pointer, type of pointer does not change. So it is C. Do you understand the difference? When I said P plus 1 is integer pointer, the value was 1002. Because P was pointing to the first element, it is an integer pointer type. But Q is not int star. It is a pointer for an integer array of size 4. That's why plus 1 will take me to next integer array of size 4. Which means this 1 gets multiplied by, what is the type of Q? Q is a pointer of the type this one, integer array of size 5. Integer array of size 5 means 5 into 2, 10 bytes. So this gets multiplied by 10. So 1000 plus 10 is 1000. That's how it works. Is that clear? Q plus 1. Then should be clear now once again. I'm just saying star Q. Q is address of the whole array. Q is address of the whole array, integer array of size 5. Star Q, this is the doubt. Q you are saying 1000. So star Q should be its content 10. No, this is wrong. Q is 1000. Star Q is not 10. If P is int star 1000, P was int star. Int star 1000, star P is its content 10. But Q is pointer to an array. Array. Star Q is in that array first element's address. This is the meaning. Q is address of the whole array. Star Q is address of the first element of that array. Address of the first element. So Q is address of the whole array. Star Q is address of the first element of the array, which means value is 1000 because the first element is this. Its address. Okay. Type of pointer changes. Because I'm saying it is first element's address. First element is an integer, so integer pointer, int star. Please understand. Observe these two. Q and star Q. Q is also 1000. Star Q is also 1000. Q is pointer to an integer array of size 5. Star q is first element's address, that's why it is integer pointer. If you understand, yes. Yes, what is the doubt?
Once repeat that point, ma'am. Q and star.
Yeah. Is this clear? Q
That one.
is, sorry?
Yes, that one only, ma'am.
Yeah. Q is address of the whole array because the declaration itself says Q is a pointer for an integer array of size 5, which means this is a pointer for the whole array. For that, if I say dereferencing, it is not the content of 1000. 10 is not the answer. The answer is again 1000 because star Q says Q is address of the whole array, star Q is first element's address. First element's address. So in this, till now it is integer array of size 5's address. Star Q is in that first element's address. First element here is an integer, so it is in star type. First element's address is 1000. Yes, it is 1000. So Q also says 1000. Star Q also says 1000. This is a first confusion that you will have. How come Q and star Q can have the same values? Yes, it can have because the types are like that. Q's type is not int star. Q's type is pointer to an integer array of size 5. That's why star Q is just a type of pointer changes. It becomes an integer pointer. Value remains the same. Value is the same. Why A and ampersand A both are giving me 1000? Because their types are different. A is address of the first element, ampersand A is address of the whole array. Okay. Similarly, Q is address of the whole array, star Q is address of the first element. For that star Q, if I add 1, star Q is an integer pointer, which means first element's address. Integer pointer. For that, if I add, it is next integer point. Integer pointer, right? So, for an integer pointer, if I add an integer, type of pointer does not change. It is int star only. Star Q is 1000. 1000 plus 1 is next integer. Plus 1 is next integer pointer. So, it will be 1002. Is that okay? If I say star Q plus 1 of star. Star Q plus 1 we have solved already. This is int star. And that value is 1002. For an integer pointer, if I use a dereferencing, it will give me its content. As long as this is integer, simple pointer type. As long as this is simple pointer type, that's when dereferencing will give me its content. So 1002's content is 20. The value is integer. You please understand the difference between these two and these two. Here, because this one is an integer pointer, dereferencing gave me its content. Till here it is 1002. That's why dereferencing gave me its content. But here, Q is not a simple pointer. It's not for a particular primitive data types pointer. No, it is an integer arrays pointer. Address of an integer array. That's why star Q will give me. It simplifies. Till now it is address of the whole array. Star Q is address of the first elements. First element is an integer. That's why integers at first element's address int star. Star Q is first element's address 1000. Is it clear? I say double star Q. You already solved star Q. Let me write star Q. Star Q is int star 1000. Till here it is int star, value is 1000. Because it's a simple pointer type, one more dereferencing. Yes, now it will give me the content of 1000. Content of 1000 is 10, which is an integer. If this one thing is clear, remaining all are already what we have seen. Only 3 points. Only 3 points. First one, array name always indicates the address of the first element of the array. Address of the first element of the array. Second one, by adding an integer to your pointer, type of pointer does not change. Third pointer, whenever you are using a dereferencing operation, for a primitive data type, if you use like int star type, it will give you the contents of that memory location. Content of that memory location. But when you use a dereferencing for pointer to an array type, till now q is pointer to the whole array. Dereferencing will give me the address of the first element. So this is also a pointer. This is also a pointer, but for the whole array. This is also a pointer, but for the first element of the array. Once this is for the first element of the array, that's why when I use one more star in front of it, now it is a simple pointer type. That's why it is giving me the content. This is all. That's all. Only 3. If this is clear, two-dimensional array is also like this. Any doubts? Have command on these expressions only if you write your own expressions and try to solve. When you will have many questions, you can post me your questions, or we can discuss again in the next class. No problem. But you have to practice. You write your own expressions and try to solve. If you still have any confusion, you can just maybe you write a simple program and test it. No problem. You will get the same answer from it. And it's a straight gate question. That's why I'm stressing this point. It's a gate question. And the very first option they gave, Q is 1000, star Q is 10. Everybody would have answered that. 1000 and 10. Because in the elimination process, our mind says Q and star Q cannot have the same value. So it cannot be 1000. So they eliminated the very first option. But that is the actual answer. Because internal behavior is like this. Any doubts? Shall we go for two-dimensional array then? Yes, two-dimensional array. How do we declare a two-dimensional array? Again, taking integers only. Int v of 3 rows, 4 columns. This is declaration. So our mind says there are 3 rows, 4 columns, so we assume a box like this. But internally memory is not like this. Internally, there is no two-dimensional array. There is only one single dimensional memory. Right? RAM is one single dimensional memory. So in that we want to implement a two-dimensional array. So when you declare like this, the memory allocation is just like this. It's a continuous block. Increments. Okay? So total 12 elements. So this is how memory gets allocated. This is 1000. This is 1002 because each one is an integer 2 bytes. 1004, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 1022. They are the addresses of those elements. This is memory allocation. Please understand the declaration. If you are very clear on this declaration, there is no doubts about the pointers. Okay. Declaration is A is an array of 3 elements. That's all. This is an array of 3 elements, which means there are only 3 elements, in which each element is an integer array of size 4. That is the declaration meaning. When I declare int A of 5, array A is having 5 elements, in which each element is an integer. That's why only 5 elements, 5 integers. But now, A is having only 3 elements, in which each element is 3 elements only. Each element is integer array of size 4, which means this is first element, integer array of size 4. This is second element, integer array of size 4. This is third element, only 3 elements. Because the indexing always starts from 0, this is 0th element, this is first element, this is second element. That's all. This is the declaration. So if the declaration is clear, everything is clear now. Only 3 elements, in which each element is an integer array of size 4. Okay, then initialization. If I declare int A of 3 rows, 4 columns, I can initialize values in many different ways. One is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, 12, all comma, 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 so that all are initialized like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another way is I will divide row wise. 1, 2, 3, 4 is first row, 5, 6, 7, 8 is second row, 9, 10, 11, 12 is third. Row wise I have divided. In that process of row wise division, if I give only 1 comma 2, I have to give 4 elements, but I give only 2 elements. In the second one, I give only 3 elements. In the third row, I give only 1 element. Then what is happening? 1, 2, remaining 2 are zeros. In the second row, 5, 6, 7, this is 0. This is 9, 0, 0, 0. Partial initialization, similar to single dimensional array. Okay? And the last initialization, only 1, 0, that's all. So that all of them are zeros. So these are initialization ways. Declaration and initialization. Then how do you access? How do you access the elements? By using the row index and column index. This is row index 0, 1, 2, 0th row, first row, second row. Because as I said, there are only 3 elements. Yes, these are the 3 elements. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So, array name, row index is 0, column index is 3. Which element gets accessed? This is 0th row, third column, which means this memory location. If I assign some 50 to it, 50 will come and sit here. For retrieval as well as assignment, this is how we access array name, row index, column index. Okay, for all the elements. Then, what is its connection with pointers? Similar to what we have seen in single dimensional array. This is important. Yes. Let me give values for them 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Yes, once I declare this array, array name indicates address of the first element of the array. If you remember this line, now you should comfortably tell me that what is the type of A. What is its value? What is the type? Array name indicates address of the first element of the array. Here, A is having only 3 elements. Each element is integer array of size. So, for this array, this is the first element, second element, third element. As I said, A indicates address of the first element. So, address of this element is address of an integer array of size 4. Address of an integer array of size 4. That is the declaration of A. That is the type of A. How do we write that? Address of an integer array. Address of an integer array of size 4. Pointer int star of 4. Correct? Address of an integer array of size 4. Its value is 1000. Yes, integer array of size 4's address 1000. So A is array name is first element's address. Yes, in this array, first element is this one, its address. Its address is 1000. But integer array's address. Integer array's address is, this is the declaration. This is a pointer type. So, if I want to assign A to P, how should I declare P? It's a pointer for an integer array of size 4. This is how I should declare. Then only A value can be assigned to P. Fine? Right. So I'm writing the expressions again. First, when I say A, it is a pointer for an integer array of size 4 because A is array name which indicates the address of the first element of the array. There are only 3 elements. First element is an integer array of size 4, its address. So integer array of size 4's address is 1000. P is also of same type, that's why I could assign. So P is also of the same type. Pointing to the same thing because assignment was done. Now if I say A plus 1 or P plus 1, till now A is address of integer array of size 4. A plus 1 is, it will point to the next integer array of size 4's address. Next integer array. Till now this is the integer array of size 4. A plus 1 is next integer array of size 4's base address. So it will go to 1008. So the value is 1008. By adding an integer to a pointer, type of pointer does not change. So pointer type is same. It went to the next integer array of size 4. That's all. For that, if I use one star, A plus 1 is integer array's base address. Till now, A plus 1 is integer array's base address. Integer array of size 4's base address. Star of that is first element's base address. Till now, it is array's base address. Star of is first element's base address. So, one star for this will give me first element's base address. First element is an integer, that's why its address is int star. The value is 1008. See this? A plus 1 and star of A plus 1. Both are giving me the same values. Confusion. There should not be a confusion because this is array's base address, this is first element's base address. In that array, first element's base address. Both of them are same, right? That's why. That's why you are seeing the same value. But the types are different. Fine. For that star of A plus 1, if I add 2, till here it is integer pointer. For an integer pointer, if I add an integer, still it is an integer pointer because by adding an integer to a pointer, type doesn't change. What is its value? Till here it is 1008. It is 1008. 1008, it is pointing to this integer. I am saying plus 2. Plus 1 will take me here, plus 2 will take me here. 1012. 1012. This is star of a plus 1 plus 2. For that, if I use one more star, now till here it is an integer pointer and its value is 1012. Because this is a simple integer pointer, one star, one dereferencing will give me its content. 1012's content. 1012's content is 70, which is an integer. And this is, if you have to access 70, how do you write it? A of 1, 2. A of 1, 2 is nothing but internally, though we are writing the code like this, internally it gets converted to like this. Star of a plus 1 plus 2. This is internal conversion to pointers and accordingly it works. So it is accessing this particular value because internally everything is a point. Like this we can write many expressions. So I write few more. Star p. Star of p plus 2. Star p plus 2. Star of star p plus 2. Tell me, P is star of which means array's base address. P is this array's base address. Star P is in that first element's base address. First element is an integer pointer. First element's address. Value is 1000. So P and star P both are giving me 1000 only. But there is a difference in their types. Okay, you know star P1. Now coming to P plus 2. This is star of P plus 2. So first I need to solve P plus 2. What is P? P is this array's base address. This array's base address. P plus 2 is, till now P is pointer to an integer array of size 4. P plus 1 is next integer array of size 4's base address. P plus 2 is next integer array of size 4's base address. Which means P plus 2 will come here. P plus 2 is this array's base address. P plus 2 is this array's base address, which is 1016. But that is array's base address. For that, if I use one star, till now, P plus 2 is array's base address, star of P plus 2 is first element's base address. In that first element's base address is also 1016, but its type is int. P plus 2 would be array's base address. Pointer will be like this, P plus 2. But it is star of P plus 2, that's why it is int star. In that first element's base address. Coming to this, again, where is P? P is this one, array's base address, first element base address. For that I am saying one star. So till now P is this array's base address, star P is first element's base address. So till here it is int star, and the value is 1000. Star P is, type is int star, the value is 1000. P is also 1000, but the type is different. But star P is also 1000, type is int star. For an integer pointer, I am adding 2. For an integer pointer, this is int star. For that, if I add 2, still it remains an integer pointer. And the value will be, for 1000, if I add 2, 1004. That is the difference between these two. That is one. Already star p plus 2 is, this one is int star, the value is 1004. Because it's a pointer for a simple integer, one dereferencing will give me this content of 1004. So content of 1004 is 30, which is an integer. So you should understand that the dereferencing operation is not always giving the contents. It depends on the type of pointer. This one, whether it gives, whether it changes the type of pointer or whether it gives the content, depends on the type of pointer that we have here. Is that fine? Any doubts? Clear this. There is a difference between array of pointers and pointer to an array. Pointer to an array is, this is a pointer p. Pointer, just to hold the address. This is the memory that I am asking. But this one should hold the address of an array. I want this declaration to point to an array. So how should I declare? Star p is a pointer. Keep it in brackets. It's a pointer for an integer array of size 4. This should be the declaration for this p. This one should already be there. You are not interested in this now. I am interested in only this memory allocation. Slowly it will point to this integer array of size 5. This is pointer to an array. This is array of pointers. So I want an array like this, in which each element is a pointer. This is also a pointer. This is also a pointer. All are pointers. So how do I declare them? I am looking for an array of 5 elements in which each one must be a pointer. What pointer? Integer pointer, for example. So I am declaring inst. So this is an array of 5 elements in which each element is an integer pointer. So this is the declaration. There is a difference between these two. There is a bracket for star p. Here star is towards the variable. There is a space between. And there should not be any bracket. Fine. Here you can say, because A is an array, you can say A of 0, A of 1. All are the addresses of somebody, some variables. It is not like this. P is just a pointer. You can add or subtract values from it. Or you can write expressions like this. That's all. You cannot say P of, because P is not an array, it's a pointer. Here A is an array. in which each element is a pointer. Yes, in two-dimensional array, generally sometimes the questions are like this. So there is an integer array of say 50 rows, 100 columns, and they give us the base address, which means first element's address. First element's address is given as 1000, and then they will ask us what is the address of A of 4555. What is the address of A 4555? Questions can be like this. You can do some calculations, but we can solve it by using a simple formula. Let's learn that formula. See, in the array, there are our main target was not C programming, right? Programming concepts. There are languages which support row major order storage and other languages which support column major order storage also. We will learn the formula for both of them. First of all, what is row major order storage? See, when I declared an array, and I gave the values all 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 12, how did you allocate the values? I have divided them into 3 elements, and then I started giving the columns 1, 2, 3, 4, which means the contiguous values are taken as 1 row elements. Next contiguous 4 elements are taken as second rows elements. This is storage of row major order. This is how we store row major order, which means all the column values of a particular row are stored contiguously. If it is a column major order storage, and if I give the values like this, the values will be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This would have been the storage. That is column major order storage. Yes, there are languages which support that also. So in the question, they will mention whether it is row major order storage or column major order storage. If they do not mention anything, row major order is by default, because C programming is also row major order storage. If they, in the question they clearly mention in a C language, then they will not mention that it is row major order storage. Okay, it is by default. You should know that. So I am talking about the formula for row major order storage. How do you identify the address of A ith row jth column element? Formula is like this: base address plus I minus LB1 into UB2 minus LB2 plus 1 plus J minus LB2 into size. That's all. Okay. Address of A 4555. So address of A 4555, which means I is 45, J is 55 clear. Base address is nothing but first element of that array. First element. In C it is 008th element's address. First element's address. Okay. That is, in this case they will mention in the question, which is 1000. Then I minus I is 45. Next question. What are LB1, LB2, UB1, UB2? As I declared in the C programming, a row and column both have starting and ending indexes, right? Because there are 50 elements, index of row starts from 0, ends with 49. Here, this is for column, this is 0, 99. Lower index, upper index of rows, lower index and upper index of columns. This one is LB1, this is UB1, and this is LB2, this is UB2. For rows, it is LB1, UB1. For columns, LB2, UB2. We just need to substitute. Then what is size? Size of each element of the array. Because it's an integer array, what is the size of each element? of that array. That is also mentioned in the question generally. Whatever is the size needed, for example, 2 bytes, you will multiply with 2. If it is char, multiplied by 1. Like that. Okay, this is for row major order storage. Similarly, for column major order storage, address of aij is from the row major order only. The changes that you need to do are I and j are interchanged, 1 and 2 are interchanged. That's all. So it is base address plus j minus lb2 into ub1 minus lb1 plus 1 plus I minus lb1 into size. So this is how we find the address of aij in column major order storage. Is it clear up to now? We are not yet done with pointers. There are still, we need to learn in depth of pointers. I just gave the introduction of pointers and connection with arrays. That's all. If connection with arrays is clear, then whatever we are going to discuss in the in depth of pointers, it's not actually any complicated part. Okay, it's very simple one if you understand the arrays link with it. Okay, we'll continue the class tomorrow. Class is at 1 or 1:30. Yeah, we'll discuss with ma'am and then accordingly we'll join. Please be on time because you're getting delayed. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. For this arrays to pointer connection, please write your own expressions and try to solve. If you have any doubts, post me your questions or tomorrow, the first 10 minutes, we will discuss your doubts. Any more questions? Please unmute yourself and then ask me questions. No questions? So comfortable with pointers? Okay then. Thank you. We'll meet in the next class.